Hi, I'm Nicki Rowland of Practices Made Perfect by Nicki Rowland. Welcome back. In part one, we looked at the importance of strategic business planning and how this sets the scene for developing your practice and driving it forward. We then moved on to looking at the staff and how the staff play an essential role in driving business development. However, that is down to training. Your staff are your key asset. They are an important asset that often get overlooked and they're not invested in to the level that I would recommend. If you invest in your team, they will invest in you and your business. So team training and training for each individual is absolutely key to business success. So how do we identify what training is crucial to this process and at what level each individual needs training? Well, this comes down to appraisals and skills gap analyses. Appraisals are your one-to-one conversation with that member of staff, looking at their strengths and their weaknesses, whether they've achieved last year's objectives and what their prospects are and what their achievements have been over the past year in the practice, and also where they want to go, where they want to progress to. And then crucially, how you expect them to help achieve the SMART objectives and what training they're going to require to achieve that. This is where the skills gap analysis comes in. How do you know what is appropriate training for that specific team member? Well, training can be delivered at many different levels. It can be a formal course external to the practice, it can be an online course, or it can just be simply coaching and shadowing within the practice. It is very individual to each team member and it depends on whether it's a confidence issue or a lack of knowledge as to what level of training that they require. So the skills gap analysis highlights those areas, and the appraisal alongside the skills gap analysis feeds into a personal training plan. Within a personal training plan, individual training SMART objectives are set for that team member. They also look at direct and indirect costs of training. So it's not just how much that training is going to cost the practice, but how much it's going to cost them if that team member has to leave the building for the day. And it also looks at how the team members' training fits in with the business objectives that have been set here. So delivering training. Everybody learns in a different way. So again, if you want effective learning, you have to find the right level for your staff and their learning style. And only if you do that is training effective. And how do we monitor the effectiveness of training? Well, training and learning is not something that is visible or tangible. So there are three things that you can look at in your practice to measure the effectiveness of the learning and the training that you have injected. The first one is behaviours. Can you observe a change in the way that your team member is behaving? So for example, if one of your SMART objectives is to convert 50 NHS patients in a certain given period of time, is the staff training that your team has received from DPAS made a change to their behaviour? So are they promoting DPAS dental plans more positively, more confidently? Are they converting more patients? Are the month-end figures looking improved? And are they looking more confident in the way that they speak to patients? Secondly, have the individual's objectives been met within their training plan? And have these fed back and dovetailed with the SMART objectives within the business plan? Have they filled that gap? And finally, your return on investment. This is the financial figures, very easy to assess, but has that learning had a direct impact on your turnover and your net profit? I'm Nicki Rowland, thank you so much for listening.